That should be working. Look, I'm just telling everybody, look out for the new one. There, it should be this one.
Oh, here we go. Okay. I'll link to it.
Okay, thanks. I, of course, am seeing a black screen, but I think that's a separate problem.
Yeah,
Evan and
because I see us.
Okay, you can see us. Evan and Alk, you can see us?
Maybe. Oh, wait. No. I found an old one.
Let's see.
That link was apparently...
Shavor can see us. Looks like, yeah, everybody's saying now it works, even though it doesn't work for me. Because, again... yeah.
I don't see us anymore.
No, we're in a new window. We're in a new window.
Oh, I'm opening every window I can find.
We're the one that has the red live in the corner. But yeah, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to see the video, it looks like.
Okay. I'm going to find us eventually. Have no fear. And sorry for the wrong link. Since apparently people can see and hear us, I'm just letting you know it was not the right link.
Yeah, let's go back to subscriptions.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
I can't see it. I can't see it, which means that it's not going to allow me to, you know, keep it open. What if I pay us money?
Pay us money? How are you going to pay us money?
I'm gonna do a... No, it's too much money.
Finding I have one rogue curl sticking straight out. Okay, so we should... Whew.
Did it do it?
I see us. I put a link in the old one, and I'm watching the numbers dwindle in that one. Oh, hey, you!
Yeah, I did that. Just to see if it would show me the image, but it's still not.
It's so cute. And now you get to see Angry David.
18 minutes. 18 minutes.
18 is a good number, though.
Is it?
It is.
Why?
It's Will's favorite.
What?
Yes.
But why?
First and foremost, he was born on the 18th of a month, so, you know, that helps.
Not gonna believe that.
Second, and also important, is that was actually my dad's baseball number when he played briefly for the Cardinals.
Like the real St. Louis Cardinals?
Yes.
Your father was a professional baseball player?
Oh, I have to... Oh, it's not in this office. I can show you a picture, but it's in way back there. So I'll show you later.
Why haven't we talked about this either before and then also every single day since? For the real St. Louis Cardinals?
Yeah. And his number was 18.
My goodness. That's extraordinary.
We apparently have more history to cover.
Yeah, we do. Okay, we need to talk about that a lot, but I mean, we've already wasted so much time on this that we need to get it moving. Anyway, so yes, back to the opossum language. By the way, we now have our patrons who have been supporting us are now listed with red thingies if they supported us last time as well.
Yes.
But I discovered, to my surprise, because I remembered there being one, that there are no opossum emojis. I thought there were. And it wasn't just like, you know, oh, I suspected there were. I remember seeing it. I remember what it looked like. So now I'm wondering what that memory came from. Anyway, there were no opossum emojis. So instead of that, I just made a little icon out of one of Jesse's opossums. And now that's going to be the sticker.
Which just makes me so happy.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
That's good stuff. Okay, so
yes, it is.
now,
and Mike, I don't know about a base 18. 18 is a good number, but base 18, I don't know about all that. And Mateus, I'm so glad you made it here for as long as you're able to be here, and I'm sending you happy vibes and positive, healthy vibes.
Yes. All right.
Okay.
Poll.
Are we ready for the poll? The poll. And do we still have those options typed up in the document?
Yeah,
the 3 columns. Oh, you're right there on it. David's prepared. So if you recall, I had a distinct preference. Option B, the long vowel preservation option, was not loved by the patrons. It only got 1 vote, so it's just not the winner.
Gone.
Of what was left, maximal distinction was my heart and joy. Quality shift and breaking was the other option. That is the second one, the one that you're seeing there on the screen. And wouldn't you know, the one I wasn't rooting for won. So quality shift and breaking won by 2 votes. It was very close. Maximal distinctions. Alas, you were beautiful while you lasted.
Yeah. I mean, it certainly would have been easy, but bango, it's gone.
It is gone.
It is gone. But I am going to put it across so it's not across a page break. Okay. So yeah, anyway, this YouTube isn't working at all. So I'm just going to take my phone and throw it in a river.
Sure.
Anyway. Okay, so we have a couple of things to get back to, but the first is we need to deal with this. So we need to write up these sound changes somewhere. Now, as I recall, didn't we move where the sound changes were?
I mean, I feel like we should.
I thought we did.
But it's still down at the bottom, right? The historical notes, it's still on page 16.
Even for Ingala? Ingala? Yeah, it was. Oh, we didn't move it.
Yeah.
Jeez. Oh, that's rough.
It really is. It's your document, though.
I know. Is it possible to open 2 instances of the same document?
I'm going to say no. I feel like it should be possible, but I don't think it is.
Yeah.
Can you open the same pages document into Windows? See, this is why I have multiple documents, by the way.
Well, we can duplicate it.
You can, yes. Oh, just a second. There may be an open twice option. Pages. Oh, maybe not. Never mind. I thought there was going to be.
Here, I'm gonna, and then you page thumbnails. I said no. Document only. There we go. Okay, I'm also going to make this. Oh no, not that. I'm going to make it smaller.
And David, if you're asking about the poll, it was tied for a long time. And I think it was actually the final layer of patrons voting that pushed the third option over the edge as the winner.
Yeah. Okay, but remember though, this is not where it needs to end. We just need to have this sequence at some point. So we need to talk about how we're going to get there. All right. So we have our unstressed. Oh, right. Who was getting deleted and who wasn't? Did we already discuss that? I think it was only the cardinal vowels that weren't getting deleted. Is that correct?
I believe so.
Okay.
Right. Everything else was being changed.
Okay. So we're going to call this loss of weak vowels. And then, let's see. V plus stress. Goes to nothing in the environment. Okay, so a vowel goes to nothing. A vowel, let's say for the time being, what, minus
minus cardinality.
Let me do this.
It would be minus. Ooh, because that gets the central.
It doesn't. It doesn't get the. Oh, this is how we do it.
Because we need to figure out how to get the epsilon.
Minus
so anything
back,
mid,
minus
right,
front,
is
minus
being deleted.
Low. Minus back, minus front, minus low. That's what it is. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Oh no, that doesn't get it. I'm sorry.
But we need the epsilon and the upside down U, right?
You're right. Never mind. That was
the upside down V.
That was a funny joke. Never mind that I said that.
Like, how are you going to write that unless you say the ah is the back ah and not the central one?
Yeah.
Because then you could get rid of central and mid vowels, but like, I don't see how you're going to write this rule. I'm very interested in seeing this.
I need to know more about the specifications of It's minus back, minus front, plus high, minus round.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, all the vowels are minus round. That's just how we're
right.
rolling.
So that doesn't help.
Yeah, roundness doesn't help.
And we want to get rid of one high and not the other two. But we want to keep a central.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But only if it's low. Yeah, Mateus, it was no joke. This is how David writes his rules. RTAC 12 says plus overthinking.
Minus strong. That's a real feature. Okay. The vowels.
W. Watson says minus front, minus low. And Evan, he's just working on the rules right now for this language. It's not from a language. It's just for this language.
I don't know exactly if we're ready for romanization yet because we don't know where we're gonna end up. So I'm just gonna write this.
Oh, you went for minus strong. Interesting.
I know. Despicable.
I still like my minus cardinality.
Yeah.
Oh, and RT, that's good to know. Thank you. The original before he modified it.
No, the original before I modified it was wrong.
The rules you have in there right now are just the generic ones that you have in the document, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so those are just generic rules, Evan. So basically just like rules that may need to be used. So that way there's some wording already there.
Yeah, we can just copy and paste.
So right now, they're not from a language, they're just general.
Okay.
However, I think you should number the one that is actually for this language, and then the other ones can be the dots, so that way we don't confuse ourselves with
Yes.
which ones are for this.
Also, just remind me that I am working on a separate document right now, so I need to paste.
Oh,
No, not
I
that.
didn't know which one was the original. Good to know, because
Yeah.
I'm at the top looking at our other chart.
Okay, there we go. Okay, so this is good, but the next thing that needs to happen is, well, these are concomitant rules, so we need to say when the this is kind of weird, isn't it? If you think of schwa and as being on the same plane, and it's kind of weird that ke and k both cause fronting, unless
Listening.
I know how to save this. Yeah, I know how to save this. I'm going to call this weak vowel migration.
Yes.
Yeah.
They weren't killed off, they just migrated.
So we're going to do this goes to this. And then also...
people are requesting that you zoom in on the document a bit more.
Yeah, I guess I have to. Sorry. I didn't... Yeah, this can work. This can work. I think I'm going to be able to get the... Yeah, there we go. Sorry. My apologies. It's just been an entire mess of a day. You know that.
It's good. It's good.
And then... becomes... Ooh.
And David, so the rule notation is really just sort of kind of standard phonological rule notation. Focusing on the features. I cheat when I write my rules according to how David does his, because I just write out the sounds I want instead of writing the larger rule that shows all of the things in common. I go for the easy way out.
And then this is going to change into minus front, minus back. Because now there's only two vowels there. Look at that.
Thank you, RT. It's called pragmatism to just write what's intended.
Isn't that?
Evan asks if you know of natural languages with only unrounded back vowels.
Theoretically Japanese. But then also, the whole reason this came up was because of, remember the possum snout with the lip rounding thing. So that's something that's being added that is just, you know, from the fantasy. Okay, so just so everybody can see what happened here, I had become which so just in unstressed position, it became schwa, and then I had become in unstressed position, and this makes it so that there are only these central vowels in those positions. And so they're the only ones getting lost, so this can help us with the palatalization that we wanted to do. But now an open question. Do we want to omit the first vowel or no? In other words, if if a word begins with a vowel, do we want to say something different happened to it? Here, let's have an example.
Matei says the written description may need changing.
Yeah, don't worry about that
after
yet.
that. Okay.
Don't worry about that yet. We'll get there. No.
And have we decided where? Well, stress would have to be later to get all of the deletion up front for the consonant clusters, right?
Oh, no. Remember, stress is going to be final when there's a consonant at the end, or penultimate when there's not.
That's right. Thank you.
So for these 4 forms, we can write the rule such that they all flatten. So this becomes that. And let me move these so they're in the same spot. And then this will become that. Or we can do it so that they become something different. In other words, this sound change doesn't happen. Right?
Okay.
In other words, is the place where these vowels reduce, is it only going to be in between consonants? Meaning that if it's the very first vowel of the word, it is omitted. Probably also the last vowel, but this is all pretonic anyway. We're just talking about pretonic. And the reason why we say this is that these words will end up sounding the same, right? Whatever we do to those. Whereas this way, there's more variety preserved. Which is kind of the same question that we just asked last week, which reminds me of Wema, which reminds me that, by the way, Wema, not that, is now a word in Angala. It means to be hungry.
Yes.
So there we go.
So at least Wema.
Wema's in there.
David kept his promise.
Yep. And so now, if you want to say the mouse is hungry, you say Wema Wika. Yeah.
And that's cute, right? Wema Wika.
Sure. Oh, goodness.
And W. Watson, Wema was just a word that I thought sounded fun, and David hated the sound of it. And then so he told me if my option lost in the poll, which it did, that Wema would become a word in Gala. And yeah. Okay, so I see one vote for more variety preserved. I think that's the only vote I've seen. Ilona asked why the epsilon would raise in that situation, and honestly it'd move to a different vowel position for preservation of some distinction, otherwise they would all go to the same one. And thank you, W. Watson. It is quite cute. Wema. Anime fan wants to know if we're Wema for Kopiko. Okay, see, more variety. Alona says if stress isn't on the first vowel, aren't vowels eventually going to fall into one? Well, they'll definitely do some changing. Matei says perhaps to keep the initial vowels treated differently than the ones from the interconsonantal positions because they may keep a bit more weight. More variety. Is it failing you?
I thought if I turned off my Wi-Fi, maybe that would help, but it didn't. So I was trying to get the stupid live stream to work again on my stupid phone.
No.
people are like
If it,
tagging me. You know, I'm not seeing those, right? If it's not open, I'm not seeing them.
right. So,
Stupid.
as a side note, like, if it makes you feel any better, Zoom quit this week, and really it was my internet, not Zoom itself, but my internet was so unstable it wouldn't support Zoom. 3 minutes before I was supposed to start a class on Zoom.
Oh my God.
So the teacher never showed up that day.
Wow.
It sucked. Anyway.
Yeah, it's just not. It's just not working.
Okay.
Okay.
Some asking for the merge. I think I saw more people wanting the variety, but some people are saying, yeah, let's lean into the merge. And so
something to keep in mind that could be fun moving forward is working with secondary stress. We could end up with a Potawatomi situation here, where things are getting preserved when there's secondary stress. And it could be, like, if we want huge consonant clusters at the beginning, then obviously we're going to have to ignore that. Otherwise, most we're just going to get two vowel, two vowel, two vowel, and so on.
mm-hmm.
But it could be if the initial syllable receives secondary stress, it is accorded special status. And that special status, by the way, could be that a vowel gets preserved at all, regardless of what its quality ends up being. But anyway, if you want to know why I'm asking this question, or if it wasn't clear when this was happening, it was the weak vowel migration, where you have these vowels and eh. In other words, the mid vowels that are not central. They are centralizing, but not merging. They could, since they're on the same level, but I'm not having them. So one is going, I guess from your perspective, one is going like this, the other is going like this. Anyway. So they are merging in the situations where we want the weak vowels to drop out. But so far, we've only been talking about in between consonants to get those consonant clusters, and we didn't really care about the beginning of the word. So that's why I'm asking. That's the whole point.
We'll see. RT describes a situation where a lecturer accidentally went on for half an hour, not realizing that he had disconnected.
Damn.
Oops. Okay, so Applesauce Project says that obviously the opossum language would have to lose its initial vowel to become the possum language. I mean, I'm so glad you were tickled by that too. That made me laugh. People are like, hey, secondary stress on the first syllable, that sounds interesting.
Well, let me show you where it would be different. We're just going to do 2 examples. Okay, so same consonants for both.
We're not even an hour in, and I'm almost done with my entire thing of water. Oops.
Yeah.
I need a backup one.
Jesse hitting the W again.
W for the win. For the Weema.
Well, this is interesting versus... Okay, so here are 3 examples, and this one doesn't have secondary stress on the first syllable. These 2 do. And so what we could say is that something happens to this one, like this one could disappear. You know, like it's the same. This is the same stress pattern actually as opossum, which could result in possum, yeah. Whereas these, this is the pattern of understand. Here, I'll actually put the English.
Mateus just said, I'm actually a little surprised Jesse knows the expression for the win. Am I that far out of touch? Oh my gosh. That makes me laugh so hard.
Okay.
Good, very good.
So these have the exact stress patterns of the protoforms. Understand, opossum, and understanding. And so it could be the thing where this results in possum, and this one's like understand? Yeah.
Understand?
Yeah, understand? That's right.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
I like it.
And then this one's unstanding. We had a joke about a Texas football coach in the movie Inception, that it was actually a football movie, and it was just this coach that was obsessed with interception, and he's saying, "Now y'all gotta go out there and get me that Inception." Friday Night Lights was happening. Okay, so yeah, it could be the case that the vowels are preserved here in some form. Are people liking this idea? It's killing me not being able to look at this stupid live stream.
Well, Evan says no disappearing, David. I think that just means that you're not supposed to disappear from YouTube. Just heard the weirdest horn honk from the highway. That's weird. Anyway, Applesauce Project says, I like it a lot. David says, please keep it. Jasmine says, this is intriguing.
All right. We're gonna roll with it. So, okay, so I'm gonna keep this there as a reminder, but this does bring us back to this question. So now that we know that all of these vowels are going to be preserved, do we want maximal distinctions or minimal distinctions?
Okay. Oh, and that's unfortunate, Evan, that you don't like the sound change. But it seems like a lot of people do, so that is fortunate.
Yeah.
Maximal, David says. I, of course, want the maximal. But I wanted that last time, too. And... No, and actually, Megan, the poll went the other way. The maximum distinction did not win in the poll.
Yeah,
it was
it went the other way.
A midway point kind of thing that won.
Boy. There is
no worries, Evan. I got what you were saying. We all have particular aesthetics that are either met or not met. Ox says maximum to keep some O and E feels to it. Fells. Joey says initial vowels seem too important to be lost. Mateus asks, is there an intermediate option?
No. Remember, this is still initial stages.
And Willie Wobbs says, can we have consonant clusters with Georgian levels of intensity?
Yeah, we're trying to get we're trying to get to Georgian as opposed to Potawatomi. Which, by the way, if you don't know about Potawatomi, it's worth a look. It's worth a look.
I need to look then.
Erin did her master's on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think we talked about this. We totally talked about this, and I still haven't looked it up.
We did. So it's like there is these are like two words in the same paradigm. Nabemsa means I walk. NB schwa, MS schwa. And Bumosa means he walks. BMOS, schwa.
Nice. Okay. So, Applesauce Project says, how about only losing back initial vowels, or only low, or both?
Remember, we're not talking about the cardinal vowels here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're just talking about the ones that...
I suppose Max does give more options later, so let's go ahead and do this then. We're going to have initial position be special for the moment, so we are going to add this to the rule. Oh, right, gotta... Right. Yeah. This is just too distracting. I can't keep the live stream open if my phone keeps... Wait a minute. I can prevent my phone from going to sleep. Manually, can't I?
Yes, you can.
This is like the best of both worlds, because then I don't get distracted by looking at myself. Oh, okay. How do you do it? How do you do it? We're going to do this from now on.
Somewhere in the settings.
Yes. Somewhere in the settings.
Okay, so just from a quick Google search, by the way, here is a Potawatomi dictionary online.
Nice.
It's still in beta. It tells us right up front, but it does say it has almost 10,000 Potawatomi words in it. So I don't know enough to know. Otherwise, how good it is.
Seriously, how do you prevent the screen from going to sleep? Anybody?
Prevent screen from going to sleep. iPhone. Display in brightness.
Yeah.
And tap auto lock. And then choose the amount of time you want your screen to stay on after you last touch your phone.
Ooh.
And never is your option.
Yes, but it won't let me do it. It's locked me into 30-second auto lock. When in low power mode, auto lock is restricted. Got it. Okay, I got it.
Take it out of low power mode. Plug that baby in if you need to.
Yes. Okay. Everything is going to be all right. Oh, you got to be kidding me. Now I see us?
So now you can be distracted.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
It's like a little Christmas gift to you.
Okay. Oh my goodness. All right. So this rule is going to change the mid non-central vowels into central vowels when they occur before the stressed syllable, but not when they occur in first position. So that means the vowels. Okay. The vowels blank and blank become that and that, except not respectively. Is there a word that means the opposite of respectively?
Irrespectively?
Because I had them backwards. Okay.
Can you do that?
In unstressed position outside of the very first segment of the word. And actually, yeah. Oh. What about, sorry, oh wait, this wasn't the one that won. I need to fix this. Because we did...
Oh, and
Yeah.
I'll ask about the palatalization, whether it needs to be before Rule 2.
Yes, that's why I did this. But a quick question, what about this scenario. So we kept it as special when the vowel was the first segment of the word. What about when it's the first syllable? Do we care or no?
Like, okay, so if we're keeping a vowel, like in the examples from possum up above, you're asking if we put a consonant in front of it, does that change how we're going to treat those?
We're not to the vowel deletion yet. That's coming
Okay.
later. We're just talking
Okay.
about the vowel quality. As the rule is written, all of these things will merge. So this will become this, and this will become this. However, if these consonants weren't there, they would retain their quality.
Okay. I'm actually okay with that.
The consonant changes it for you?
Yeah.
Okay. Then rule as is, that's fine. Okay. Okay, the vowels disappear between consonants before the final syllable with the main stress. This rule can be broader then.
What do you mean by that? The United States is calling me right now on my cell phone.
Oh my goodness.
Like the actual United States.
That's hilarious.
I didn't know that was possible.
So this disappear before the primary stress, unless they occur as the first oh no, wait, that's a separate rule.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Because this one specifically says between consonants, right?
yeah, that one's fine.
Yeah.
You can also say loss of so this is loss of weak vowels 1, loss of weak vowels 2. Oh, the whole point of doing that was that we were going to level that distinction, but then we preserved it in initial position. Loss of, so we're going to call this loss of, yeah, okay. Crap, but now we have the same thing. We have to find a way to characterize all those 4 vowels.
Which I'm telling you, there's just, if you can figure out a way to do that, I just hats off to you. Oh, you took out your, I just now realized you took out the minus strong, I think was what you had it.
Yeah, I know. Okay, and then minus stress.
Minus cardinal, yes. You took my suggestion.
I don't like it.
Minus cardinal.
I don't like it, but...
But you took it.
Yeah. We may have to find a way to get rid of these vowels initially in order to fix that rule.
Are you talking about killing off vowels just so that way you can have a pretty rule?
Yes.
Wow. Wow.
The theory, according to, phonological theory, is that if you can't write a pretty rule, it's probably not a very likely rule.
So maybe we should keep the vowels, David.
No. This, I mean, what it argues for is deleting all the vowels.
Every vowel.
Yeah.
Every vowel ever?
Not just these 4.
Okay. No,
Yeah.
that's
Spirit at the beginning of the
that's
word.
illogical.
Unless they receive secondary stress. Well, we'll just keep that for the time being.
Yeah, I'm actually curious to sort of see maybe more examples or where we're headed with these vowel changes to better understand these early shifts and what may work best to get where we're going.
Well, the next thing that we need to do, the next thing that we need to talk about is the rule that's going to come in between 1 and 2. So in between the loss of those weak vowels the first time and the second time, the high vowel is going to cause palatalization.
Right.
So, and this is where, by the way, what we were building to is this right here, this second one. We need to make a decision about what's going to happen. So, and remember that's where we got. That's why we ended up with this whole poll here.
Right.
So, Knen is becoming Knen. Oops. Knen is becoming known. And then that's also happening down here and down here. And then, well, that's funny. No, but I guess that does make sense, doesn't it? Because the caret changed to schwa because it was unstressed. Now the schwa is changing to caret because it's stressed.
Yeah, that's a nice little vice versa relationship.
Yeah, and then this one is Kenyan. So we know that this is going to be happening at some stage.
Mm-hmm.
So now the question is, how is this palatalization going to work? And there are a couple of possibilities. One, this could be the endpoint. So we're going to call that option 1. We'll just do this with one of them.
Okay.
Actually, the first two, because it'll be a nice contrast.
Distinction, yeah.
Option 2.
Do you ever suddenly get an eyelash that decides it's going to migrate and tickle your eye?
No,
at
in
a
fact,
most inopportune time.
No, in fact, I don't think that happens to human beings in general. Nobody in the chat, that's never happened to any of them or to me. I think it's only happened to you. It's
well, I think that just further proves that I'm not a human being. I've been waiting for the evidence for so long, and who knew it was attached to my eyelids this whole time.
Okay, and then 4, full on.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, full on palatalization right there.
Yeah, so the question is how big is this palatalization going to be? So sometimes this could happen, but sometimes it doesn't need to. So like since we're talking about Georgian, something that happens with Georgian is when you have these long consonant clusters, is the ejectives spread. So you don't have like an ejective followed by a non-ejective if they're adjacent. They both become ejective. I mean, I don't know a Georgian word with multiple ejectives in a row offhand, but it would be like, tzka, as opposed to tzka or something like that. I don't even know.
Right.
Yeah.
Could you actually read through our options?
Probably not, but I'll give it a shot. So, Kinyan. Oh God. Kinan. Oh yeah. Kinan. Kinan. Kinyan. Kinyan is the top line.
Okay.
Now
Okay.
the bottom one, that's going to be really hard. Kinian. 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 Kinian.
I mean, based on what I'm hearing, I feel like option 4 is either option like 1 or 4 seem to be the most likely for how I'm hearing it. I see that we've got some votes. Evan likes option 2. W. Watson, like me, is leaning towards the 4, as is Joey.
Okay.
Tanu. Yeah, it seems like it's
All right.
Let's go there. Willie Wobbs goes so far as to call option 4, where your cursor is, a sexy word.
Okay, let's do it.
4.
Right. So.
Oh my gosh.
It's going to need to happen in stages.
Yeah.
So the first is palatalization. Call it palatalization 1. And it's going to involve that becoming this. And it's going to be, it has to be in unstressed places. I wish I could just say that, here, minus stress, that'll help.
Right.
Yeah, and then that should just be that. Perfect. Becomes palatalization. Okay. On the previous consonant, when the vowel is unstressed, and obviously when there's a consonant before it. Yeah. Yeah.
I like that you say on the previous consonant and then follow that up, obviously, when there's a consonant before it. Like, let's just back that.
Okay, so that's the first one. And the next one is going to be palatalization spread.
Yes.
Yeah, so let's see.
Johan is pointing out that this is going to be a difficult one to put into the sound change applier.
Is it?
I don't know. I'm just saying what the comment was.
Okay. A previous palatalized consonant spreads its palatalization to an adjacent consonant. And now...
Oh, Johan is pointing out the reason that comment was made was because it relies on stress, and stress is hard to mark.
Right. Except that stress is positional, so that shouldn't be too bad. I don't think. Palatalization 2
we'll find out.
Is okay, a palatalized consonant becomes C plus palatal. Palatalized consonants become fully palatal consonants. There we go. Okay, let's take a little break and jump back to our table here. So, as we recall, oh yeah, this is where things become spicy.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
Shoot. I forgot about that.
Uh-huh. All right. Let's show what we're talking about.
In Viking Sandwich, I feel like you're trying to say things to us, or you are saying things to us, but also I'm fairly certain you're typing in Welsh, and I'm not at all sure what you're saying. Now, to work through this problem, David, I need some brain food.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
I think it's time.
This is going to be something. This is going to be something. I hope you see why. Everybody following along.
But cheers.
Soft and hard palates agree. Copico.
Yes. Oh, Viking Sandwich, the whole point was for me to notice the Welsh. Cool. I did it. Yes. Oh, thank you, Kobe. And no, I cannot speak Welsh.
I always wanted to know if you speak Welsh and you watched Futurama, that Star Trek episode that has Welshie, is he actually speaking Welsh when he's introduced?
Oh, good question.
Oh my goodness. Oh,
Do you see the comments right now? Do you see RT's? What about Jessie's pronunciation in any language would make you think she could speak Welsh? Called out.
So.
Oh my goodness.
Actually, at Dark Horse, that's pretty good. If you speak the IPA, you can basically speak any language horribly.
Amen.
Oh, that was worthy of John O'Hala. Rest in peace, my friend. Okay, so here's the issue. Major merging. Now, if we wanted, this is so funny that this is happening. Given that this language originally was going to be a revamped version of Sudan, my old language, it had the exact same thing happen. It had a complete merger of coronals and velars when they were palatalized. A complete merger. It may have even had a word that looked exactly like this.
How bizarre is that?
I
mean, how bizarre is that, right?
Turn on. Let's see. So, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah, it's basically that. I think they got to merge. Yeah. It'd be weird. It'd be weird to have, because this was mentioned as a possibility. So you'd have, cha versus kya.
Mm-hmm.
And that does happen in Hungarian. I just don't want to have to worry about Romanizing it.
What, CHNYAN doesn't look beautiful?
No, I mean, it would have to. I mean, that's what we're going to do for the top one if that ends up being a modern one. But
CHH.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
Well, no. The way you'd have to palatalize, the way you'd have to do it is like this. So, sorry. And then sorry. That's how you'd have to do it.
People are asking about just using the, what is that called in French? The C with the little, C with the tail.
They're talking about the sound. But that's going to be there. That sound is going to be there. because that's what's going to happen to that's what's going to happen to
Sadia,
that.
thank you, Logan.
That is going to become that. So don't worry, that sound is in there.
Okay.
But if you're talking about a romanization, give me a break. No, this should never be used in a romanization ever.
It shows up in other languages.
Since it couldn't be anything else. Yeah, W. Watson does have a point. It's a very fine line between deciding, like, this couldn't be anything else, let's spell it this way, versus how... No, it could be something else. Assuming that palatalization spreads progressively, oh. Oh, no. No, I guess you're right. Never mind. Right, because we're not doing... Never mind.
Taking it away. I'm going to forget you ever said it.
Yeah, all right. Anyway, the idea is this, are we down with the merger? Or are we really going to try to distinguish chinyan versus chinyan? Chinyan. Chinyan. Chinyan? Chinyan?
No.
No. Merger it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, sorry, Evan. Like, right after we said merger it is, Evan's like, no, merger.
Yep, deal with it. Okay. So.
This is...
Yeah. I do it in Hungarian. Oh, crap. Stop that.
I wanted so many things for Ngala.
Mm.
I was outvoted many times.
Yeah. This is nice because since we don't have the distinction between the voiced and voiceless velar, the ya can only be one thing. It only could have come from that. So that's nice.
Now, question, are we going to start using the green to show the new sounds?
Yes.
Versus proto sounds?
Yes, we are. I wanted to remind myself of how that worked.
Because I know red is proto sounds that disappeared.
I see. Yeah, so that's what we're discussing right now. Oh no, dear me, not that. Or we're about to get there. So let me. Is it supposed to be that bright, or is it a little darker? It's a little darker.
Yeah, it's the darker, I think. And Beatrice just said something else. There it is. Yeah, so word final devoicing, that is something that's still definitely on the table. We just haven't made it to the end of the word yet.
Yeah.
We're still working on the beginning of the word.
Okay, so then I'm definitely going to have that. And yeah, probably definitely going to have Leah. Oops. Where's that? There. Now we need to discuss what to do with Ra. Maria. 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 Feels like it just becomes yeah. Gotta say.
I'll go for that. Finally have a palatal sound I can easily make.
What? But you're a big fan of palatal sounds.
Just because I'm a fan doesn't mean I make them well.
All right.
And also, goodbye, Viking Sandwich. I'm not going to attempt to say what you typed. Back to you. Being in Welsh, but I'll wave.
Por favor?
Exactly.
That's just a guess.
Okay.
So yeah, that I think is that.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Okay, so we have that palatalization is happening, and we have that it's spreading.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. All right. Now next. No, wait. We're going up, not down. Right. Okay, so we can get rid of those. And let's go ahead and type all these out so we can decide if we want to do anything with them.
I'm going to start at the bottom and try to meet you there, but you may beat me.
We will meet in the middle.
So I have to oh, it is just that. Okay.
Yeah, actually.
I have to remember where my fancy U is.
Just do a copy paste
there it is.
thingy.
Okay, yeah. You're way faster. I did one in the amount of time you did 4 because I couldn't remember which keystrokes to use.
Well, there's copy paste. We had one up.
Yeah, but that's cheating. I need to remember how to do the keystrokes.
I think it's fine. You could have that after palatals. That's fine.
Agodug asks if the distinction between S and retroflex S would be maintained after palatalization.
Oh, actually, let's go back. We didn't discuss that. So, you know, both the sh and ja are becoming cha and ja. But what about sa and za?
I mean, unless you...
Are they going to become cha and ja too?
Unless you did some sort of post-alveolar, which would be sh and ja, and it would be so close to h and j that I don't know if they would maintain all of those distinctions.
Yeah, I don't know either. I think that they would merge. Sha and ja. Masha, Masha.
I mean, gosh. You know, I want the distinction there, but I'm trying to find a reason that there would be sh and h side by side in a language.
I have to think no. Distinction would be leveled.
Mateus, when you say that seems fine, are you saying it seems fine that they would have both the sh and the h, or that merging is fine? David likes them both. And Evan, the C is a palatal stop versus the ch is an affricate, so those are entirely different sounds anyway. Oh, Joey says, what if the S becomes retroflex when palatal?
What? What's he saying?
Oh, Joey, the S becoming retroflex?
Nah.
Are you feeling strongly one way or the other?
The thing that makes this complicated is that in many instances, what is happening is these palatalized consonants are occurring before consonants. And so you have, even if you have sh and zh, they're occurring before a palatal consonant or after it. And so I feel like they would just merge.
Right.
Because
it would get pulled back to the palatal level anyway to assimilate.
Mm.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Wow. Okay.
So we've got some decisions made.
Yeah. Should we write these down? There.
Oh, for the rules, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so let's do it.
Let me know if you want me to like read you sounds or anything, although you also have the other document.
Okay. Okay, so velar palatal is
Good night, Mateus. I hope you sleep well.
good night.
And David, yeah, the current standing is that those retroflex fricatives would become palatal.
Oh, that's not how you make a dot. Sorry.
Oh, did you use the asterisk instead of the dot?
Yeah. And then I'm going to move that.
And that dot is just...
Yeah. I got it now.
Oh my. Oh my.
Okay, I've got it now. Wait, what's this?
That must have hurt as you watched it go through all its iterations, though.
Yeah. Okay. And then flex to palatal. Okay, so then T, yeah, and then D, and then.
And Beatrice, it wouldn't make sense really for the retroflex to take over as S, because the whole point of this particular sound change is that palatalization sort of assimilates all of the consonants, so they all become pulled back, and that retroflex becoming alveolar wouldn't pull it back to the palate.
And then, there we go. Yeah. Okay.
In Dark Horse, yeah, the vowels do have an effect on the preceding consonant, which is how we got these palatal, the palatalization one rule in the first place. But it would be that central E vowel. I said it beautifully. That's causing it. And so not the back vowels.
And then C. I'm going to have it go through a stage of zh before it finally emerges. I think I also am supposed to, I have an N here that I need to write. There we go.
Okay, and Alk says there are some missing small J's, but
There are. Thank you. I'll get them. I will get them.
Up there, okay. And Applesauce Project, yeah, not Not so sure about pharyngeals popping up out of the SNC. That would be a big leap.
Okay, so let's.
And what does debuccalized mean?
It's makes it come unrounded, right? Wait, essence here, debuckle. I can't remember. I can't remember that one.
Debuccalize. Ooh, debuccalization is a search result. Oral consonant loses its original place of articulation and moves to the glottis.
Oh, so like in Hawaiian, where sa became ha.
It's also called deoralization. Wow, that was like a super interesting word to learn.
Okay, palatalization, spread, consonants. Okay, loss of weak vowels between consonants.
Oh, apparently I said it wrong. And bye, Agodog.
And this now. Oh. Guess what happened?
I don't know, but you seem very excited about something.
Yes, I am. There's no more high central vowel.
I thought this was only when it was how? Because I thought it only did this when it was unstressed.
Yeah, but that's right. Vowels disappear between consonants before the syllable with the main stress. And then they also disappear yeah, actually, I guess it's just before. Yeah, there we go. Now it's a very simple and concise rule. The vowels and disappear before the main stress when not secondarily stressed.
What happens to P, B, and M? Several people have been asking about that.
Pia, bia, and mia. I guess we can write it in there just to be maximally clear. So, labial. No change. And then also fa, right?
Yeah, we've got that fricative.
Though I will say that I wouldn't be surprised if that thing became hya as well, because fa is very close to ha, and ha plus ya just gives you hya very simply.
Mm-hmm.
That could be a fun one. People like that.
Do people like that?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I may have to refresh again. Chat keeps stalling out, and then I have to refresh. Okay. Oh yeah, because W Watson asks, could the f become hya?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely
Johan
could.
says, yeah. W follows that up with, yes, please. Kobe likes it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
All right, we're doing it. Hya becomes hya too. Wow.
Wow. So we're taking all the fricatives palatal to the same place, right?
Oh.
Every fricative becomes palatal.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, okay.
Well,
I just wanted to check.
That's something fun. That's something fun. Oh boy, this could lead to some really wild paradigms. We have to find a way to insert this high central vowel in places, and we're going to do it with prefixes. That's how we're going to do it. We're going to do it with prefixes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, that changed.
I typed that in our grammar notes, prefixes need the high central vowel in the protoforms. At least some. This is going to be...
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's no wonder they're not so sure about the Jiquis gift of consciousness when they're going to be so much overlap how they talk.
Sorry.
And Joey, you're right. David does have an evil plan.
I am. I mean, in the entire time, what I was thinking in the back of my mind is Arabic, and how to get there. I mean, not that I'm aiming for Arabic or anything like that, but just some of the phenomena that you see. Because, you know, what happened with Arabic is just that there were these, you know, augments to all of these different roots. And then the augments changed where stress was. And then there was loss of, you know, vowels in unstressed positions that were short. And then there was some vowel quality changes. And then there was also pluralization that happened, and then the augment was added, and that's what gave you the broken plurals. And then when you combine that with the vowel changes, and then the vowel losses, and then the shifting in stress, you know, thousands of years later, you ended up with Arabic the way it was. And so that you could borrow in a word like film into Arabic, and it gets pluralized as el aflam. It's wonderful.
I love your delight.
Ugh, that is some fun stuff. Okay. So right now, the next thing that we have to deal with is we do have the Potawatomi problem. And I will show you what that is with some forms that are going to need to be larger. So we'll go over here. Okay, start with, and we're going to do non-palatals just so that we don't have to worry about changes. So kanan, kanana, ka, ne, nan, and then.
And Johan, we're not quite to the codas yet.
Yeah, we're not there yet.
We'll make it there eventually.
Also for fun. Oh, we should talk about if E causes palatalization too. Forgot about that.
Oh.
I mean, probably, yeah.
Probably.
Okay, so we're not gonna deal with that yet, but we do need a cardinal vowel. So let's do all of those, but with A first. Okay. So follow our rules. This becomes kanan. And then this becomes kanana, which becomes kanana. We haven't done anything with word final vowels yet. Kanenan, and then this becomes kanenan. No. Kanan.
Because the stress has shifted. Okay.
Yes.
So deleting the unstressed vowel wherever it is, which is how we're going to get some consonant clusters in the middle as well.
Yeah, and then this one becomes kanana. Well, actually,
is it always going to be the initial syllable that gets the secondary stress, even as we're adding
Sorry, we haven't added this rule yet that the lengthening happens before in open syllables. It's only when it has voiced codas so far. Okay.
Okay.
So, but this one, I think it's just going to stay at kanan, right?
I'll asked about the epsilon becoming the barred I.
Oh shoot! I'm sorry. Let's do another one. Thank you for reminding me of that.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do this one that doesn't get palatalized, but is at the same spot. This one is. Okay, and what was the thing?
What would happen if this final one had an in at the end? Would the stress still be like on this syllable and the first syllable?
Let's do it. Do that one and this one. They're not ready yet. Let's go to this one first. So this one, yes, thank you. This is where the problem comes in. So
because the stress would just be two back from where it is stressed, correct?
Yeah. And so and then this one. Sorry,
That's one hell of a word right there.
Yes. Okay, so this is what I was talking about with the Potawatomi problem. If we just say secondary stresses are not getting deleted, it means that you just get these maximally two consonant clusters. You can never get more because the vowel will always be rescued with secondary stress.
We need to take that away then, because wasn't the whole point that we were supposed to get some really wild consonant clusters?
Yes, and also you can see here, due to the vowels that are in there and where the stresses shook out, no vowels were deleted. So kanananan,
right.
Kanananan. Wait.
Right.
Hold on. Yeah.
Jasmine, I would watch that movie, The Potawatomi Problem, starring Matt Damon.
Sorry, this should actually be kanananan. That's how it should be pronounced. Kanananan. Kanananan. Okay. So this just means that we could have secondary rounds of reductions later on, but they can be sensitive to consonants.
To potentially streamline or be sensitive to whether or not these consonant clusters could be.
Yeah. So this is
speakable.
This is kanananan. This is kanananan. So kanananan versus kanananan.
Okay. Can you just read that entire list? I just want to hear it. Just go for it.
Try to do this without aspiration. Kanan. Kanana. Kanan. Kananan. Oh, I'm sorry. Kanana. You got it. Kanana. Kananan. Kanan. Kanana. Kanan. Where's the stress in this one? Kanana. Kanana versus kanananan.
Yes.
That's how they are.
Okay. Yes, I'm feeling that. And yeah, Benjamin, that is bananas. Kanana.
Now, it only starts to become absurd when we have these longer words. But the thing is, if we're going to end up having a language that has a lot of prefixes, or larger verbs especially, we're going to end up with some of these words that are much longer. So we may need to do some spot reductions where as we get later in the language, we will decide, like, if certain types of vowels before S will reduce unless they're like the primary stress, because we can have stressed at all versus primary stress versus not. Those can be two separate environments.
So that's going to be interesting then, because that means we will need to start thinking about some of the grammar decisions before we did, because in Gala we really focused just on sounds and did all that before we really got into any grammatical decisions. But it sounds like we may need to start making just even a couple grammatical decisions a little bit faster, just so that way we can see all the prefixes and how they're butting up and what other sound changes. So in other words, the sound changes will never stop in this language, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, but also we can just invent some fake prefixes. Also, by the way, for Arabic, Arabic just in the modern day looks like it has infixes. They're not really infixes. That was the whole point. There were no infixes in Arabic. It was just things getting deleted and then things getting added on either side. Okay. At different stages, depending on, because, you have a singular and a plural, and it's like you can add derivation after the plural or before it. It doesn't necessarily need to be in the same order for every language. Anyway. Okay. All right, we need some more reductions here, but why don't we take a break with that and look at the end of words?
Yes.
We need to write in this lengthening rule. We never did.
No, we did not. Although, do you want to? Well, yeah, I guess we need to do that now anyway. Should we think about what else happens with the codas before doing that? But
no, let's write it in so that we don't forget it.
Okay.
Vowel lengthening. Because that needs to happen first before the other vowel quality changes happen.
Right.
C plus voice. There. Very simple rule.
That's good.
Vowels lengthen before voice.
I can even get on board with that one.
Yeah. Very simple. Okay, vowels lengthen before voiced codas. And then I don't want to actually write the whole rule out, so I'm just going to say long vowel quality changes. Just to remember that it's there. Long vowel quality changes.
For the vowel lengthening, you need to say it's in stressed position only, correct? Otherwise, would these technically be two long vowels?
No, because at least it's written right in the rule. It's written right in the rule at the end of a word.
Okay.
However, you do raise an interesting point, which suggests that this rule, just in case, so we don't end up with something should occur before this. So in other words, the vowel lengthening is going to happen before any vowel loss happens, so that we don't end up with something like, kanun, nan.
Des DeNova asks, what if you pull a Germanic and have...
Jesse, you stopped for a second.
Quality changes are grammatical.
Sorry, you fuzzed out for a second, but I'm going to read Des DeNova's. What if you pull a Germanic and have long vowel case endings plus umlaut, then drop them so your vowel quality changes are grammatical? Yeah. That's definitely something that could be done, except that all the changes that we've seen so far are progressive as opposed to regressive. And the thing that was happening with German is that the stuff on the end was changing the stuff that came before it. We've done the opposite. But what we can do... Okay. All right, focusing on the end of consonants. I want to leave this here, so I'm just going to go to a different area.
Do we need to start like labeling our lists for why we have them?
Okay, good. Not. And let's see, what else? Let's do a weak fricative.
Like the p. Oh, yes, exactly like the p.
And let's also, I think we've already dealt with this, but just in case. That's not every possible thing. Let's do this as well.
Did you do R and L? Okay.
Do we want to do both?
Oh, I didn't know if you had done either of them. I was just looking at our chart.
And then let's just do one of those. Cardinal vowel.
Did you want to do just like a K or a P? Because then it's a stop that's not retroflex. Would that make a difference?
Okay. Maybe we know one of these. We know what's going to happen with one of these. And it's going to be this. Actually, let's do that. So... Nag.
Okay. Okay. I've got some labels in for our list now.
Okay. So we had talked earlier about word final devoicing.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, I'm curious about this answer too. Jesse, which part of language are you most interested in? It's from Ilona.
Syntax. Moving into semantic kind of area. So technically the interface of syntax and semantics. Why are you laughing?
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
No.
What is your answer, David?
Morphology.
Interesting. You know my dissertation was focused on syntax, right?
No, I didn't. Wait, or did I?
Well, now you do.
All right.
Now you do, whether you did before or not. So yeah, I liked it enough to woo, focus on it. Okay.
I'm going to right. Okay, let's focus on stops just for the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Previously, we had discussed word final devoicing. And I think that something needs to happen to these things, word finally, because my instinct was to say Canada and add a vowel on the end. So it feels like something needs to happen there. But the idea is if we did word final devoicing,
Mm-hmm.
we would have,
Well, because then we would have
Kanat
knot
versus
versus
Kanak.
knot.
Yeah. So that we have
And
this,
yes, I realized my retroflex was not retroflexed at all when I said that.
yeah.
I guess that would potentially imply we're going to keep the long vowel distinction.
Well, for this vowel, yeah. For some other vowel, it'll be like knut versus knut.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Because they're going to be changing that way. Okay.
yeah. And we should write that down. So that was the poll. We want to make sure that, I mean, it's there, which is great. But if we write it down on the sound changes, we can delete that. Anyway, so that seems clear. Something else that we discussed was potentially devoicing these. And I think that's still an interesting idea. So it'll become kanar and kanar, and it could become kanar.
Okay.
Does anybody want to look up real quick if there is a way to do a voiceless retroflex?
Can't you just add the little dot underneath that?
Oh, well, no, you'd have to add it on top because it's retroflex. But like, is there just one of those that has the little swooshy that in the tail?
Voiceless retro flex approximate. I forgot to take my IPA. I'm not seeing
Dang.
one.
I mean, isn't that just silly though? Because like the voiceless lateral, it just has the little thing on the L. So why don't you just add that little thing to the retroflex one to get, instead of hla, you get hra. It seems like a perfectly cromulent consonant. Like there's no reason that it shouldn't exist.
Looking. Well, Hawa says perhaps there is.
I mean, we'll just have to add a little retroflex notation under the hla
on the official one. No, there is not.
Okay, but it just says that it's not. They don't have a symbol for it. Not that it's not possible, because it's clearly possible.
Right. It's not shaded in.
Okay.
But there's no symbol.
Yeah, and you know what? I am going to go ahead and put the R in there, canard. Okay. All right, what is that going to become when it devoices? Kanar, 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 kanar. I think it just comes in, yeah? Kanar.
I mean, that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, kanar. 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 Dark horse, no, that doesn't seem likely. Oh, right. Oh. So first of all, we did forget I didn't think it would be different. Maybe that was why, but it's probably worth it. Ganache. I mean, ganache seems fine. Ganache. No, I just feel like ganache is just going to become ganache. with an H, it's not actually going to become kanash. I could see it merging. Ah.
And Hobie says it's a language related to Tamil. Toda. I'm not sure we were tagged in that comment. I don't remember what that goes with. Jasmine said that the symbol is like you have it with the little loop, but with a hangy downy retroflex.
Yeah, like, I mean, either way, we're just going to have to say that it is a devoiced this or it's a retroflex that in the IPA.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But then, yeah, kanah. I just don't see it becoming sh. I just see it becoming kanah. I mean, yeah, kanah.
David asks about it becoming a velar fricative.
Kanah. No, I don't think so. It's something down here. Kanah.
Are we pharyngeal for the win now?
Yeah, I mean, kanah. I keep doing a pharyngeal, that's for darn sure.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose it doesn't matter. This sound doesn't exist anywhere else in the language, so it doesn't matter if you pronounce it like a h or a h, and it'll just be spelled h. So that's good. Okay. With the fricatives, I feel like they're just going to stay. Gnas, gnash, gnaf, gnaf, sorry. Gnaf, gnaf. Unless...
I mean, obviously the weak fricative is the most at danger of in a coda position.
It is. Here, this might end up having to be a poll.
Okay.
But let's do the voiced ones real quick, because I mean, let's just double check that we're happy with what's happening.
Sure.
So I feel like they don't have to devoice, but they can. I don't know.
I love how sure you are.
So, like, the idea is we'd have the exact same thing happening with these two. So, ultimately, gnas becomes gnas, whereas gnaz becomes gnas, long vowel. Good with that?
Mm-hmm. I am, actually, because, I mean, to some degree, I think that's what we do with a lot of words in English, like I just did of, and I definitely didn't have voicing on the of.
You know what's funny is that voiced of, it was the same root that gave us off. It voiced because it was used intervocalically so much.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, gnash versus ganache. So, these can either stay put or they can become H.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of cool, because then we'd have kanah versus kanah. Kanah. Kanah.
Right.
Because it's kanah. Okay, they gotta be pharyngeal. They have to be pharyngeal.
I was going to say, otherwise, are we really just like making a weak fricative weaker?
Well, yes, absolutely.
But then wouldn't it just disappear?
It might later on.
Okay.
That's actually something we could look into. Oof. This could be another subverted poll where essentially the weak fricatives just die, but it leaves the stress. That reminds me of Frozen. Remember? I'll take away the pain, but leave the fun.
Leave the fun. Yeah, I'm actually okay with either option. And so this is a poll that I like because that means I'm happy regardless of the vote. And so, patrons, you hear that? I have no preference for one or the other. So,
Okay.
vote as you will.
Do we want to do three options then? So basically, weak fricative stays, it becomes H, or it takes a step further and the H is deleted, leaving the stress. Do we want to?
Yes. I think we should have all three.
Okay, got it. And then this one, or there we go. Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Cool. Okay.
And like I said, I actually am very curious to see what the preference is, because I think all of them could yield some interesting things.
Yes. Okay. So now let's, because I mean, ordinarily it'd be time to go, but I want to stay like 10 extra minutes, if that's okay. Since, they were robbed
Since we started 18 minutes late?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Okay. So I feel like the lengthening was happening because it was needed when it was needed in order to like get to that voicing on the thing. So we don't necessarily need to lengthen in open syllables.
Right.
Which means that we'll get to there. We'll deal with the palatalizing ones in a moment. So what's going to happen here? Some possibilities.
So then we would get, because up here, if it was original, it would be lengthened. Here, it wouldn't end up being lengthened because this was a deletion of a vowel.
Exactly. What do you think?
I like that.
Okay. Whoops. All right, next then. Yeah.
Okay, I'm thinking. I feel like this would be one of those floating situations where, like, this is where it's really right. It's because we have that alveolar and palatal in as being sort of interchangeable anyway on the chart. Like, I feel like it would be alveolar if nothing followed it, but if something does follow it, it's palatal and makes it palatal too. Or it's a soft palatal that doesn't cause progressive change or something. Like in terms of suffixes or like in compound situations.
So, I see. You're talking about a merger. You wanted to just be Knan.
Knan with a floating palatal that, I mean, if it, in the protoform had come up against something else.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it would actually be floating. It's just going to be, it will have been suffixed to a form where the vowel was still present.
Right.
Yeah. That's a bold move for you, and also not something you usually do. Is it just because you don't like palatals in final position?
Okay, say that. Can you say that word for me with the palatal and then with the alveolar?
Gnan. So that's one. Versus, and let's. I mean, we want to be real here. It's not actually alveolar, it's reflex, right? Gnan.
Right. And say the other one again.
Gnan.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I don't think that there's a big enough difference that it would matter which N shows up here, unless there's something to follow it, in which case then it would affect potentially.
I mean, it's big enough, but I am intrigued by this. I think that we will do it. Just because now there's another merger. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Uh,
I mean, let's be honest. There's a song in
yeah.
my Just Dance that I danced to, and I had to look up the lyrics to find out if they were saying I would stop moving if I could stop moving, or if they were saying I wouldn't stop moving if I could stop moving, because the nt is so unstressed that you actually don't hear it. They're actually saying I wouldn't stop moving, but I was convinced they were saying I would stop moving. And, you know, if we can merge positives and negatives in English and still come out the other side okay, then I think this will be okay.
So, Jasmine asks, is this like the old dead consonant trick? It's actually the old dead vowel trick. There's a dead vowel here, and it'll show up in future paradigms. And we
Hmm.
must acknowledge Dark Horse. I'm going to try to do it with the. No, it has to be done the way the old opossum would do it. The first command of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club.
Oh my goodness. Oh, David is asking, could Knani become Knain?
um, let's look at that possibility too after I do this joke. Did you say that the first B of Fight Club? That's the second Canaan. I meant the first Canaan. Sorry. Okay.
Had to carry it through to completion right
Okay.
there.
So yeah, there is another possibility. So this is one. Another possibility is this. Kind of like something like that. Comes this Canine. So Canine
Okay.
becomes Canine. Um,
Okay.
Here it would
I kind
stay.
of like that.
Okay, by the way, are we going to say that the high front vowel E palatalizes? We haven't decided that.
I mean, it seems to make sense that it would, but I also think that the vowel itself would also stay.
Yeah, Kananyi.
Right, right. Like that to me actually, given how the high central vowel is palatalizing, I feel like the high front vowel would palatalize things too.
Okay. Um,
I mean, basically everything's going to be pulled to the palate at some point in this language.
yeah.
Everything's going to be right in the middle.
I'm just going to add that there. It's not the most elegant way of doing that, but consonants also palatalize before the high front vowel. Okay. That takes so. Well, I guess the question is this: Do you like canine better than you like this merger, where you could have let's see, canine, nana, plus s becomes oh wait a minute. Oh wait, what are the stressed oh, right. becomes this. And then what is...
Alona is asking for a summary of the process so far. I think specifically for this list. And so in that final syllable position where the stress is, if there is a voiced consonant at the end as a coda, the vowel gets lengthened. And then voiced consonants, for the most part, except for the nasals here, become devoiced. And so that's really like the crux of what's going on here. We do have some fancy shifts potentially going on with the fricatives and that retroflex R, but those are the only thing that so far is like super fancy. And then here we're just trying to decide what to do with the final vowels and how to treat those.
Yeah, so basically, if you don't have canine, you will have this.
Okay, so like everything would be Knan at that point.
You'd have like Kanan for a couple of these, and then like this Kanan would become Kananus. I'm sorry, Kananus, and this Kanan would become Kananius. We'll probably end up doing something with those vowels. But
right.
Whereas if you had canine, though, this one would be... So it would be maximal distinctions and no merger. Kanan would become Kananus, and canine would become Kananius.
I actually like that. Oh, and you're welcome, Alona. And I'm gonna, by the way, just kind of add this little David likes 9.
I like the merger.
What'd you say?
I like the merger. And I like it because you said it was cool.
Yes, but there still is merger at some point, right? Like there still are going to be instances, because I mean this is still going to be merging with something, right?
I think the merger is going to stay.
Okay. I mean, that's totally fine. I'm good with either. I'm chill.
Okay. Let's keep that around as we
Okay.
as an idea as we finish. Let's do it all.
And so any vowel that doesn't stick around in that position, so any of our non-cardinal vowels will get deleted and we'll have knan.
This is where we need to see what happens. Because technically nothing has happened to these vowels.
And Isaac, that's exactly what David is going through right now, is to show like what it would mean in this case for merger. And what really we're seeing is which vowels actually get deleted, which vowels are just going to end up giving us the knan form, versus which ones are going to stick around on the ends. That's what we're looking at in terms of forms. Yeah.
So we can do a couple of things here. One is, these things could merge again. Remember, the only things that are merging are before the primary stress. So nothing's happened to these vowels yet. We're doing stuff to them now. We could have them disappear, and indeed, we would have a 4-way knan. 2 of them palatalizing, 2 of them not palatalizing. Or we could just say that only the central vowels get deleted. And that you have a, e, and
In the kanana form, in this one,
Canonical.
Is the second step supposed to be what it is, or would the schwa be retained? Oh yeah, it would be schwa here. This final vowel.
Oh, yeah.
And thank you, Hawa, for pointing that out.
Yeah, not only that, I guess this syllable wouldn't actually get deleted, would it? Crap. This syllable wouldn't get deleted. Because it's got primary stress. All these things are becoming a lot longer.
Wait, I thought that because it doesn't have a coda, the stress is in the middle.
You're right. Never mind. Sorry.
Okay.
My bad.
Momentary lapse of judgment.
Yes. Thank you for helping me through that difficult time. It's Consonant.
Wouldn't the epsilon of the second to last set become bardi because it's unstressed?
No, that's only happening before the primary stress. Right now, we're discussing if we're going to do it or not.
Okay, so I'm looking also at the time now because this feels like a big decision to try to rush. We're going to have patrons voting on those fricatives and what happens there. I think this is where we need to start our next episode.
I'm putting it in red. Yeah.
Because that is a decision we need to make.
Something, I'm just going to throw this out here. Something that we could do is that often you just get word final vowels polarizing. So like this can become E without palatalization, and this can become
Gotcha.
And so then you could have, because you're right, this should have palatalized. So you'd have kanani versus kanani.
Oh, that would actually be an interesting thing, potentially.
Okay, I've got to just... Just go with it. There we go.
Going with it.
Okay.
With a little t.
Yeah. So now there's only two kanans in this scenario.
Yes, but we do have two kananus.
Kanana. Yeah, of course. There was
Kananu.
Yeah, we have two kananas. That's fine. That was always going to happen. Kanana.
Got it. Okay. Okay, so I think this is a good place to say we've done things.
Yeah, we did things.
And thank you for being here to do things with us and for following us to multiple live stream videos.
Look forward to the next unscheduled live stream. Unless you just want us to schedule one so that you can chat with each other, and then we're just going to do a different one.
Every week, just do the pre-live stream sign up here and chat, and then go somewhere else.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Whew. Excellent. Well, I hope everybody has a wonderful week, and stay grammar, and we'll see you some way, shape, or form next Thursday.
Bye, everybody. And, oh, wait. Did you do that or did I do that? I remember. Everybody's saying stuff, so I think that we're good. So, anyway.